it seems like you are still in high spirits. You still are smiling. We're still having it. It just still feels quite light, which I mean is a good thing. But I mean, how are you? How are your colleagues? How are you coping? What are the realities and the personal effect that the whole pandemic is taking?
So I think that at the moment when we're in it, I think people are coping at different levels. Certain people have seen stuff before. I don't think anyone has seen sort of anything to this scale probably in their lifetime. Um, I don't think we ever will. And I think resilience probably comes down to it quite a bit. Some people are just typically more resilient than others. I have some friends that are really, really sort of not really coping very well with it. Um, Seeing death quite a lot when you can't do anything about it is quite distressing, particularly when you're having to have those conversations with family members and say, um, this is not survivable for this patient, and actually it's quite sudden sometimes. So um, it probably gets to you quite a bit. I think I'm minded of like, if you don't smile, you'll cry. And I'd much rather, like, you just have to push through at the moment because our job's not going to change anytime soon. It's not changing anytime soon. So we have to just find a way of coping with it. Um, when this sort of hopefully soon, touch wood, touch any wood everywhere, and when it starts to slow down, and we sort of come out of the sort of the pandemic, um, there's a lot of people in the NHS will need support. Absolutely, like I think there's going to be a lot of people with PTSD.
Which I think is an interesting point to make because I don't, obviously, I mean, we're in the midst of a massive spike at the moment, so no one's really thinking even past the week at the moment. But it's an interesting point that you have to be resilient in a job like this, and people are just getting through. And afterwards, the toll it's going to take on people. And are we actually prepared for that? Do we have those resources in place?
I mean, what we deal with mental health normally, there's already such a struggle on the NHS in terms of availability and resources. So I think a lot of the time, a lot of it's falling to colleagues, to some charities. I know a lot of services have brought in their wellbeing teams. We've got really really good wellbeing team where I work. You can literally call them and they will just either direct you somewhere or guide you in the right direction of what they think sort of they can help with. Um, I think that it's one of those, I'm coping. Some of my colleagues are coping. There's people that are really not coping, and um, it will just be one of those. We just have to see how we go on. And behind the scenes, people have had a cry. I've definitely had a cry after jobs. It's just that's the reality. You sometimes do those sort of you have those jobs not so often where it really really affects you. I think now you're seeing so much more of those. So people that have built up resilience, it's being chipped away at, and it will get to a point where people just either will just go into robot mode, which I think a lot of us are doing, or you just break. And that's a bit where hopefully touch wood, you know, um, I don't have any friends at the moment that are at that point, but people that see their colleagues die, so colleagues that have died and been unwell or been intubated and ventilated, I just it's difficult, yeah.